Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. So this channel is all about fire and the fire lifestyle, and we're going to be breaking that down in my adaptation of it, what I call Feast Fire. So fire, what is fire? So FIRE stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. And this came originally from a book back in the 90s. Just in the last probably 10 years or so, I'd say it's really gone mainstream with social media, blogs, YouTube channels. There are a lot of different things have gone on with it, and there's a lot of different adaptations of it, which we'll talk about here later in the video. But FIRE, we'll break it down first. FIRE, Financially Independent, the first half. So you don't work for your money. Your money works for you. Traditionally, how they do this in the FIRE movement or the FIRE lifestyle is you save roughly 70% of your income and you live on the remaining 30%. So just to keep it simple, if you net 100,000, just at the end of the year or after all taxes, everything, you net 100,000, you take home 100,000, you saved 70,000 of that and you lived off 30,000 of it, which is roughly 2,500 a year, right? Or a month, excuse me, which is fairly reasonable to be able to live off that take home. But what if you're like the majority of people who don't make $100,000 a year, but you live maybe on 50,000 a year? So cut that in half. You're living on 1,250 a month. That's pretty difficult, especially in this economy, to have your own apartment, car, credit cards. A lot of people have credit cards, student loan debt, and it now gets a little more difficult. So, and we'll get into that a little bit here towards the end of the video. But the next half is retire early. So this is whatever you want to make it. Whether you want to retire by 30 and just hit it big straight out of high school, even during high school, invent something crazy, invent something big, next Facebook, or whether you're more down the line, such as 45, 50, maybe trim a decade off your retirement age. That's your goal. That's where you're going to set your mind to. And again, traditionally, you save 70% and you live off the 30%. You do that till you hopefully about 1 million is kind of the average most people shoot for, and then you live off 3% of that balance, and that's how you retire. So if you have 1 million, it comes down to roughly $30,000 a year. That's what you live off of. So how do you get there? Again, that's a hard, if you're living off 1,250, maybe 1,100 a month, depending on what your income level is. Some people live in rooms, they rent rooms out, they have roommates, they share an apartment, they live with their parents. Some people buy their car in cash, keep their bills low, don't use credit cards, pay for school in cash if they're able to, get scholarships, things of that nature, and they live a very minimalistic lifestyle. They trim the fat, they buy what they need, and they ignore the fluff, okay, so to speak. And then they save via 401ks, IRAs, bridge accounts, which are just brokerage accounts to tie you over until you start pulling from your retirement account. Traditionally, that's when it becomes tax-free. And you just live that lifestyle, becomes part of who you are. And you retire by hopefully whatever goal you shoot for. I hope everybody makes it, whether it's 40 or 50, 55, whatever it is, that's your goal that you're shooting for. So Feast Fire, my adaptation of it is a little different, right? So it's not so much focused on saving as much, all of your paychecks, saving as much money as you can in all these retirement accounts, shoot for whatever X age, and retire. Mine more so is more about the hustle early on. So building up a rental portfolio, getting 4, 5, 10 doors under your belt for passive income. Your investment accounts, being aggressive and having multiple different of those. REITs, real estate investment trusts, get some of those built up. They're not very liquid, but they have an opportunity for long-term gains as well, right? Crypto, it's a hot topic. I know not everyone's a fan of it. The channel's not dedicated to it, but we will talk about it because for some people it might be the right call. It might be the right amount of risk they're willing to take, because there's the potential for big gains, but there's also the potential for huge losses as well, right? And then there's other ways, such as starting an e-commerce business, other side hustle, side businesses. For example, just to play around with things, I'm starting my own Rover account, and I'm just gonna see how much, if someone wants some part-time money to stash away, how much can you make in a month walking dogs part-time, house sitting some of these dogs for a weekend or whatever it may be, a couple hours a week, 10, 20 hours, whatever it is. Let's find out, right? Let's have fun with it, see what we can do. And we're going to be doing other cool things like that. We'll be starting an e-commerce business live on the stream and on YouTube. We'll be posting videos of that, of my brokerage accounts, how those are coming out, different types of investment accounts, crypto, and we're just gonna showcase my journey here through my move from to the F.I.R.E lifestyle. I'm going to move towards being minimalistic, which is, you can probably see behind me, that's not necessarily my strong suit, but that's what I'm working towards. That's what I want to do. This is what my goals are. I'd like to retire by 40. Doesn't give me as much time as I'd like, but I'm going to bust my tail off. We're going to showcase it all here. We're going to see where I end up. And hopefully you guys are all with me in 10, 15 years, when we get towards, closer to our goal. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly, I'm not going to tell you how old I am and where I'm at, but we're gonna get there, guys. Okay, so I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me, enjoying the journey with me, sharing in it. If you have something that works for you, please share it in the comments. Share your knowledge with others, and leave me feedback as well. If you have something that you want me to talk about, or you think something I said doesn't work for you, tell me why it doesn't work for you, or why something I said did work for you. And then lastly, if you guys could please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out tremendously with the algorithm and getting us, further and along in our YouTube journey. And I would greatly appreciate it. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your time here, and thank you very much.